So everybody has their own preference, and in terms of computers, everybody has their own preference on whether to go with Windows or Mac. And you can even include Chrome OS if you wanted to, but for me, I wouldn't include Chrome OS because I feel that that's not like a dedicated computing operating system, since that's basically just a web browser with computer hardware, which to me so far is not really useful, especially since you don't have any internet, then the computer is pretty much useless to you. So better off, that's why I'm gonna keep it more specifically between the PCs and the Macs. So everybody has their own preference, and they have their own preference for specific reasons. One could be, for instance, with the PC side, they like to do all their customizations and put whatever software they want on there, do crazy gaming on it if they have like a really good gaming PC. And because Windows pretty much like is an open operating system, you can change it whatever way you want. Whereas compared to Macs, the Macs are pretty much supposed to be user friendly. That's why Apple controls everything to make your computing experience awesome. That's why some people prefer the Macs versus the PCs. Maybe I believe, good. Don't quote me on this. I could be wrong at this, but the more computer savvy people, or the more computer techie people, would be more on the PC side. Why? Because they would like to do all this, do all that, do whatever crazy thing they want. For me, I don't mind both, even though you see that I have PCs here. I have the Sony Vaio right here, I have my HP A250N, I have my, Acer Aspire 4730Z, but, it just depends on your preference. For me, I can use both either way. Even though I don't have a Mac, I have used it before because I have played around with it to help somebody out and teach them how to use it. Therefore, that's how I was able to gain a little bit of experience. But here's the thing, there are some benefits between the two and some disadvantages you have between the two. Alright, so let's first start off with the PC. So I already mentioned some benefits. So, customization, do dedicated gaming on it. If you're not a console gamer and you're more of a PC gamer, PC is definitely the way to go for gaming. Mac is okay, but the Macs, for how I see it, is more like for the business type as well as the social life. Social life would be for both operating systems, gaming, hardcore gaming for PCs, and then the business type for Macs. Because the Macs, you have very good video editing software, you have good Photoshop software, you have all kinds of software, audio software, document software. But Windows, you have that too. I just feel like it's more user friendly on the Mac. That's why I'm seeing the Mac more known as the business type. You can do that on the PC too, don't get me wrong. Like I said before, it depends on people's preference. For me, if I'm gonna do gaming and basic web searching, I probably go with Windows. And if I'm gonna do basic web searching and I want to do business stuff, I probably go with Macs. So either way, one day I would like to have both a PC and a Mac, in which I got too many PCs here. But hey, like I said, it's your preference. Now here's some disadvantages, and what I'm going to talk about for the disadvantages is not directly towards how it's useful or how it's not so useful to the user. I'm talking about how you're gonna manage yourself in terms of buying the operating systems. Alright, let me start out with the PC first, because Microsoft has this thing in a way that I feel is sometimes complicated, sometimes not. Okay, so let's start off. Windows 7 Home Premium. You can buy a copy of Windows 7 Home Premium from Amazon. I don't know, you can buy it from the Microsoft store right now or Microsoft's website. But from Amazon, it'll cost you almost $100. The last time I saw it was like $86, but that was like for the 32-bit version. I tried to find a pack where it had both the 64 and the 32-bit version for just a little bit of $100, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I'm pretty sure it was right there, because I remember one time somebody I know bought a copy of Windows 7 to install it on their MacBook Pro. Actually, I was installing it for them. They just bought the software and handed it over to me, and I did the installation for them. And I put the 64-bit version on there because the guy at Staples says, you know, it's best for the Macs that you put the 64-bit version on there versus the 32-bit version. And that was all in one pack. And so let's say you're going to get that pack. It'll cost you a little over $100, or maybe $100 exactly. But the problem is this: you have a product key in there, and you need that product key in order to activate Windows, so that way you get all the latest official Microsoft updates. Because without the product key, the operating system is still usable. You just won't get the official updates from Microsoft. And next time you were to get a virus or something, you're really pretty much screwed unless you pay for some sort of virus protection. And I'm sorry for moving the camera. And another thing I don't like about Windows was the virus. And I'll get to that later because I'm not done with the activation yet. So every time you get, if you're gonna like build your own computer, you have to get like a new copy in Windows, and because you need a new product key. And I have heard some stories where people were saying, well, technically, if you have like 3 PCs, for example, that you just built, right? You don't technically have to buy a separate product key for each of those computers, because let's say if I activate one computer with this product key, right? Then I use the same product key to activate the second computer. I just gotta make sure the first computer is off. Activate the second one. Then I want to activate the third one using the same product key. I have to make sure that both of these computers are off so I can activate it. Now with this product key, and then you got 3 computers activated on the same product key there. Because this is pretty much tricking the system, where Microsoft sees that this product key has not been registered yet, and then this is the first time this product key was being registered. And apparently from what people were saying, Microsoft will never know how many times that product key has been used. And how many times can you use the product key like this? You'll have 3 activations in order to do that. And after those 3 activations, the product key is pretty much dead and gone. And how are you going to get a new product key? It's either you buy a new copy of Windows that's the same edition as yours, or you have to call Microsoft and then try to ask them to get you a new product key. And I'm not sure if they're going to charge you for a new product key, maybe like $10 or something, because for me, I don't want to keep buying a new copy of Windows every time I build myself a new computer or a new desktop PC. You know, unless if I go straight out to the store and buy a specific computer from a specific manufacturer, such as Acer, Sony, Asus, Samsung, or HP, Dell, whatever the manufacturer would be, because by the time I get those computers, Windows is already activated on it, and in case I need to activate Windows again, they already have a product key on there. So the one thing I don't like about Windows is the product key. And going back to the virus thing, yeah, PCs do get virus, and that's basically some kind of infection for your computer. Think of it as like a disease, but a disease for your computer, because a virus is pretty much like somebody hacking into your computer, and then they'll give you all kinds of ads, slowing your computer down, and next thing you know, they get access to your computer and then access whatever information you have on there. So you have like login accounts, bank account logins, you know, credit card logins, whatever accounts you have created with like online stores here, people can grab your information and they'll either rob you, or they'll either keep giving you advertisements to get you to buy this, buy that, which is annoying because you have too many things in the way, which slows down your computer, and then you get frustrated because if you're like me, I hate ads. If you feel like getting something, I will take a look. I don't need an ad on there all the time when I'm not shopping. Alright, so that's pretty much the main disadvantages for Windows. Unless you guys think I'm wrong, then go ahead and leave your responses in the comments below. And I'm going to go to the Macs now. So Macs, like I said, for benefits, they're user-friendly. They're more for the business type because they're user-friendly in terms of having helping you create the documents that you want to create, and then do basic web searching. Because if you used an iPhone or like a smartphone before, you make like all types of gestures, such as like sliding or pinch to zoom. You can do that with the Macs too, except you're using the Magic Trackpad or the glass trackpad that's built into the MacBooks. Alright, and what I really like is this. If let's say you gotta upgrade from Mountain Lion to Mavericks, alright, which Mavericks is the latest operating system out there the day this video is recorded, and the way it works is, I think Apple charged their customers like $30 or something, and it's only a digital download. No, alright, it used to be where you can buy a disc, but now it's a digital download, and you can upgrade it from there. What I like about the Macs is that there's no product key. So, when you buy the operating system to upgrade your Mac from Mountain Lion to OS X Mavericks, right? Once your Apple ID is registered with that operating system, you can pretty much upgrade multiple Macs with your same Apple ID to that latest operating system. So let's say you have like 5 Macs, for example, right? You can upgrade as many Macs as you want, as long as you use your Apple ID to put those upgrades in there. Because when you made the purchase, that purchase was registered with your Apple ID, which is one thing I really like. Compared to Windows, if I really don't feel like spending a lot of money, I really have to get my way around to make that happen less. I can't stop that at all. Unless if I can keep calling Microsoft to give me new product keys, then okay, that'd be fine as long as they don't charge me. But eventually they won't support Windows 7, because right now they don't support Windows XP. I'm still using Windows XP on my HP, and eventually Windows Vista is going to go out. Unless if Windows Vista already went out because so many people hated it, including myself. Now, as far as disadvantages for the Macs, you don't have too much customization, and it's not really meant for the gaming type. Alright, if you're going to do some gaming on the Mac, chances are it may run a little bit sluggish. Now, you may have a good graphics card on the Macs, but if you really want to get great gaming performance with a faster frame rate performance, you're better off going with a PC and buy a PC with a very good graphics card on there. Because chances are, because the way Apple is, well, I just said is twice. But the way Apple operates is that when they make their products, they only care about what works for the users. Alright? They feel that customers who just want a computer to do web browsing, share their library of stuff, music, videos, and photos, and just for the business type. They feel that we don't need crazy specs just to do all that. Alright, whereas compared to Microsoft, they try to appeal to everybody. That's why they give you all these options, and then you have all these manufacturers that gives you all these options for hardware purchases, software purchases, and all that. Alright, therefore, Microsoft's products charges a little bit more. The only thing that Apple charges more is their hardware. Because I see it as the hardware that you're buying from Apple is really good, but I think most of the money that you be giving Apple is more directed to the software, OS X. I mean, am I right or am I wrong? I mean, I'd like to see what you guys think in the comments below. So, as you can see, PCs and Macs have their own disadvantages as well as their advantages, alright? And as far as Linux is concerned, I have no idea because I've never used Linux before. I have seen what it looks like. I've never even tried to make some sort of boot DVD or thumb drive to put Linux on my computer just to try it out. So Linux, I have no idea. So for any of you Linux experts, you could try to bring Linux here as well. But in this video, I just wanted to make this more directly toward the PC and Mac industry. So what do you guys think? Which side would you go for, the PCs or the Mac? And go ahead and explain why you would go with whichever one you prefer. For me, I don't have a preference. I want to get both. Alright, even though I can install Windows on a Mac, and I can probably install Mac on a PC, but if by doing it on a PC, that's considered a Hackintosh, and I'm not sure if that's officially legal with Apple. I'm assuming it's not legal because Apple controls everything. Alright, Microsoft doesn't really control everything. They control a little bit of stuff here, but I mean, you can see that Windows is more open because of all these options, not just the software but the hardware too. Alright, Apple, you really gotta do what they give you. I mean, now RAM is soldered into the motherboard, although the only thing you can change in the most recent Macs are the hard drives, because they're not full SSDs. They're not even full 2.5 hard drives. They are M-SATA hard drives. So those are the only things you can replace if you had the most recent Retina MacBook Pro or the MacBook Air. I'm not sure about the new iMacs, and I'm not sure about the Mac Pro. I think the Mac Pro may use a M-SATA hard drive, the cylindrical design. So I don't know. Go ahead and leave your responses in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. And hopefully I can relieve this cold I'm having, because it was like, I don't know, preventing me from speaking, but I still try to speak as much for you guys. Alright, I rambled enough here. I'll see you guys in the next one.